There are a few people in your life that can take something very complicated and make it understandable. Those are the people you certainly want to make sure you listen to, especially if those people have been around for 4 to 5 decades in the industry that you're working in and have changed the way people look at what we do, the way we use the products and services that we do, and the way we guide ourselves into and out of the cycles of businesses. And nobody does that better than my guest today, Dr. Jim Tompkins. Jim has been around since 1975 when he started up his business. And I can tell you that business flourished, for 50 years. And Jim has been in so many different areas of the material handling and supply chain space. He's been the president of the material handling industry. He has helped companies all over the world with their supply chain challenges and opportunities. I have personally worked with Jim for years and know just how powerful what he knows and does can be. And so I promise you, you are in for a treat today. We're talking about something all of you have heard about, all of you are talking about, and that is AI. The thing Jim is going to help us do today is to understand why it matters to us as supply chain marketing professionals and what we really can do with it going forward. And with that, Jim, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the show.
Well, thank you, Ralph. It's my pleasure to be here. And it's fun to talk about AI because people have this phobia that, oh my goodness, it's going to take over our jobs and we're all going to be unemployed. In fact, if you listen to the people that have that mindset, it takes me back to the Industrial Revolution. Now, I wasn't there, but I do know that there were people, Lundites that they were called, and Lundis sometimes they're called, that were named after a fictitious guy, Mr. Lund. And they believed that because they were going to use these looms for making fabric and so forth, that they were all going to be out of work. And so what they did is they staged a revolution, and we got a new use of the term sabotage. Sabotage is a French word. A sabotage is a wood shoe that has a metal channel in it, and it's the absolute perfect thing to throw into a loom because the metal and the wood will totally destroy the workings of it. And so what they did is they took these French shoes, and the reason they had the metal channel in it, because we got up in the morning, it was cold, they put coals in the inside of the shoe, and it kept your foot warm. And so, but they would take their sabotage and they would sabotage these industrial revolution plans. The same thing happened when the steam engine was invented. People said, oh, that's going to kill all the jobs. The same thing happened when we got the computer. And now the exact same thing is coming out. People saying AI is terrible, it's going to destroy jobs and so forth. To the contrary, every time we've had one of these major breakthroughs in these 4 industrial revolutions, now the AI revolution, what we've seen is that standard of living has gone up, quality of life has gone up, and so we've had real improvement. So I think the Lundites are kind of weird people, but then it's some, Bill Gates and Elon Musk.
That's
these
right.
guys, they're supposed to be smart. But
Jim, I want to make sure the audience heard what you said. You said every time we've gone through this.
Yes.
So it isn't just sometimes, it isn't just most of the time, it's every time.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I want the audience to hear that now, because everybody wants to look back, decades and go, oh, I wish I was around during that time. It would have been so much fun. We could have benefited. Well, good news. You are right here, right now. So now let's get into that. What is the opportunity and why should people be excited? And we're talking to these marketing people who everybody's looking to explain things to them or to help them understand or what have you. But what is it that we're going through that's going to take us to that next level?
Well, we have had for over 30 years machine learning AI. So artificial intelligence began as a mathematical challenge to organize data and to allow us to pick up trends, to get
Ah,
understanding about what kind of orders are going to be coming in. What's the weather going to do? What's the impact of the weather on the ships coming to shore on time, and et cetera, et cetera. So AI that's based on ML, machine learning, is a great scientific discovery, and it's really hitting its stride. And virtually every one of us is already using predictive analytics that come from AI. The new thing is generative AI, where
mhm.
generative AI has the ability to invent new materials. It can invent the new name. It can invent a new logo. It can write an article. It can use its intelligence to go out and gather information and then to synthesize that into a new thing. So, from a marketing point of view, imagine the potential of using generative AI. I can ask generative AI the question. I can either talk to a chatbot or I can type in to a chat GPT or one of the other programs, and I can ask the question, I have good business with this business and this business. What are the names of 10 other businesses that I should be looking into to see if they could be good customers of mine? And then I can say, well, you said I should work with ABC. Why did you pick ABC as a company that you thought I could do this? And then it would give us the analysis that allowed it to evaluate millions of pieces of data to come to the conclusion ABC should be on my list of my prospect list. So now I know ABC should be on my prospect list. And I said, wow, I understand why. Take my standard promotion letter and customize it for ABC's business needs as you see them today, and add in there any kind of new information about their company. And it's going to give me back my sales letter.
That's amazing, Jim. I got to tell you, I just got chills all over my body because what you're talking about is now we can get AI to help us create personas. We can get AI to help us create campaigns. Hell, we were even talking off camera just a few minutes ago. I can get AI to build my demographics for a webinar if I want to. So
Absolutely.
that it's just fascinating. And so help us to understand, why is what we're going through not unlike what we've gone through before, where it seems like there's only a few percentage of people who take advantage of this stuff, and yet everybody else thinks that afterwards they would have had they been a part of it. How can we encourage these people to truly get into this?
Well, there's folks that are going to win the World Series and folks that are not going to play in a World Series. Um, and so,
That's why I love you, Jim. You cut right to the chase.
well, I mean, the fact of the matter is, if we have Barbara, who's using AI, generative AI, to do sales, and we got Sue, who is not, Barbara is going to be hugely successful. She's going
Yeah,
to get promoted. She's going to get all the
good
incentive
point.
checks, and Sue will not,
Yeah,
because Sue is going to work harder. Okay, she's going to be there at 11 o'clock at night, still researching clients and still trying to find out. But Barbara says, "Oh, okay." So they developed a sales letter for me. I'm then going to customize it for my own personality, and I'm going to sign it and send it to them. Then it comes back, and they said they want me to quote something. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to ChatGPT and say, this quote should look a lot like the one I did for the Joneses, and I need this now to be done for the Smith, and I'm thinking we should use product number 1641, and we should probably do it with a typical implementation schedule. Please write me my proposal. And
right.
you will have the proposal on your desk in 10 minutes. And now what you can do is go and you're starting, you've got a 70% done proposal. Sue is starting to say, okay, now which file should I go to find the right thing that I can kind of cut and paste from? Barbara's already doing it. I mean, she's making it happen. And then
Right.
when you get questions, they're going to send the questions in. You turn to ChatGPT and say, "Help me with these questions." Now, it's not going to be perfect because it's
Right.
not going to understand the nuances that Barb and Sue both know. But Barb is going to take the time dealing with those nuances. Sue has to do all the hard work. And so Barb
That's
is just going to be successful.
that's
Then
amazing.
the client says, let's go. And I turn to ChatGPT. I said, write me my contract and make sure you include in that the escalation clause based on inflation that we just put in last month. And make sure you also have this and this and this in there. And here comes the contract. Once again,
So listen,
70% right.
I can't tell you how exciting this is. And I know everybody who's watching this feels that way. Unfortunately, we are completely out of time, as I knew we would be. So, can I get you to consider coming back and helping people be encouraged about how we can augment this AI and people and all of these things that are going on together to go forward and not feel like it's a bad thing, but a good thing that we bring all this together. Can we think about doing that in the future?
Sure, be happy to, Ralph.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. Everybody who's watching this, I promise you, these are the things that are going to take the supply chain to the next place. As supply chain marketing professionals, it's imperative that we know this. Let's come together in June of next year on Amelia Island at the Ritz-Carlton. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about taking this industry forward and making it famous. And with that, Jim, thank you so much and have a great day.
Thanks.